来ウルトラマンだ。
Howdy there, this is Rudy Cowboy from Ultraman Central, and today we will be continuing the review of Ultraman Z for my Ultra-Thon. Before we get into it, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Now then, we left off at Ultraman Z Episode 8, The Mystic Power. In the beginning, Celebro hires two girls to give him blueprints to getting the medals of Superkov, Melba, and Golza. Right when they ask for a price, he possesses them as his slaves. Meanwhile, Yoko spars with Haruki and absolutely destroys him, and Yuka as well. Juggler reflects back on when he encountered Kubaragi Celebro and tries to puzzle out the connection in his head even more. It's not too long before Celebro gets a hold of the metals he needs to transform into Tri-King. Tri-King causes nothing but carnage.
While Yuka stands there, literally jumping up and down, going extremely happy and excited over seeing a fusion monster attacking a city. Just because it's a fusion monster. I quit.
Sevenger, piloted by Haruki, and Wyndham, the robo-chicken, that is piloted by Yoko, face the Chimera, but if it's a fusion, you know things are about to get tough, and tough things got, as both robots were so weak for the fusion beast that even he got bored of the fight and left. One of Celebro's bounties knocks Yoko and psychopath Yuka unconscious, and now they become hostage. Totally Not Juggler checks on Haruki and directs him to find Yuka and Yoko. So Totally Not Juggler investigates Celebro's metal business. Meanwhile, Celebro goes full Walter White and cooks him the medals of Genku, Rikubus, and transforms into Tri-King once again. So, Haruki arrives to Bowser's lair to kick butt and chew bubblegum as he frees Yoko and Yuka. Yoko, with the collaboration of Yuka, beat the crap out of their kidnappers as Haruki flees because he doesn't want to get cancelled for hitting a woman. Haruki then uses the medals of Ultraman 0, Ultra 7, and Ultraman Leo, and screams on top of his lungs,
Ultraman Z! Ultraman Z! Ultraman Z, Alpha Edge.
Ultraman Z takes on the Tri-King as Yoko and Yuka defeat the abductors, and it's revealed that they are actually alien pits. Wow. Celebro gets bored with the battle, so he makes it a little bit more interesting by inserting the coins of the medals of Genku and Rikubus to become 5 King. Five King and Zet have at it, but it doesn't take too long for 5 King to overpower Zet and kick his butt. So, Haruki and Zet even become Beta Smash, and even that isn't enough. Wow. Totally Not Juggler sees that Zet is in trouble, so he hands the medals of Ultraman Tiga, Ultraman Dyna, and Ultraman Gaia, and by Haruki chanting Zet's name, Ultraman Zet becomes Ultraman Zet Gamma Future.
Ultraman Z ガンマフューチャー
This battle between Gamma Future and Five King is very fun and entertaining. I'm gonna say this, that Gamma Future is OP. And if you don't believe me, this is what I mean.
Gamma Illusion.
Next thing you know, after severely injuring Five King, Zed turns small and enters Five King's body and blows up his cells, ending the beast for now, as Five King may be defeated, but Celebro is not. Juggler hunts down Celebro, but by using the Gillivar slaves as a distraction, Celebro escapes, of course. Juggler finds the beast medals to Five King, and now he may use them for himself, because, well, he's a troll, of course. At the end of the day, Yoko and Haruki are ready for another storage training, with the inclusion of Yuka, of course. Overall, the episode is fun. It was cool seeing the two storage girls be strong in their way and work together against the pits. And I did think that Yuka was a little annoying in the beginning, but it didn't hurt my eyes. Celebro was a menace as usual, and I thought the execution was well done. And Gamma Future was so cool. For real. The next episode is called The Unidentified Object Convey Order, and begins explaining a long story that can easily be shortened into one summary. King Joe is attracted to metals. He attacks the Allied forces after they study metals. That's it. Okay, cool. Good for him. But where's our main cast? Well, to answer that, they receive the reports on the mysterious robot's activities and get a special message from our magnetic robot friend, threatening the crew to give them medals or their planet will face a full attack. How rude, King Joe. That's not very polite of you. Wait, what is that? Oh, and that Barusa hand looking pretty sus, not gonna lie. Anyways, Storage maps out a plan on taking out King Joe. Haruki pilots Wyndham, while Yuka and Totally Not Juggler drive, using a machine that can detect metal. The two nearly get lit up by King Joe, and Wyndham gets knocked down after being struck by King Joe's lightning. Totally Not Juggler and Little Miss Psychopath nearly get captured by King Joe, until Wyndham holds the robot back. Haruki tries to prevent the king from getting closer to them, until King Joe, pops apart. The staff are shocked to find out that King Joe can separate, but if you were a storage member and you watched my King Joe Kaiju Explain video, maybe you would see it coming. Link in the description down below, by the way. Next thing you know, King Joe tries to chase the two bandits under a tunnel while facing Wyndham at the same time. Oh, and while trying to hang on King Joe, this happens. The two again are countered by King Joe, as they become trapped and are left with no choice but to surrender. The two give the medals and the box, fooling the King Joe until they not knowingly give the real box to Celebro. Celebro opens the box and that attracts King Joe. Celebro laughs at them and runs.
Not gonna lie, she fell for it. Stop.
King Joe turns back into his main form and lands at the storage facility. Haruki has no choice but to save Yoko by turning into Ultraman Z instead of going back into Wyndham. As Alpha Edge, Ultraman Z prepares for the fight. It doesn't take too long for King Joe to be king of the hill, and it even hurts more that he's unaffected by a Zestium ray. He sacrifices himself, he as in Haruki, to save Yoko, severely hurting himself in the process. King Joe nearly collects the medals until Zet pushes himself in the way to grab the box instead. Obtaining the medals of Mebius, Nexus, and Cosmos, Ultraman Z gets a little surprised, but he can't be excited for too long as King Joe eventually fights back. Celebro smiles as King Joe stomps, crushing Zet's back. He goes full boss mode on Zet, and Zet can't really keep up with the robot. The robot then does the iconic King Joe slaps and face crush. To counter this, Haruki turns into Ultraman Z Beta Smash. Beta Smash puts up a good fight, and combat-wise now, Zet may have the advantage. Haruki and Zet decide to transform into Ultraman Z Gamma Future to split into 4, aka using the Gamma Fusion attack as an advantage on their part. King Joe's like, okay, bet, and splits into 4 parts as well. Zet lassos the 4 King Joe pieces, and Ultraman Z suggests that Haruki inserts the medals of Ultraman Cosmos, Ultraman Nexus, and Ultraman Mebius into the Z-Riser, of course, and Haruki does so. By combining them together in the Z-Riser, Zet uses the lightning grenade attack to, destroy the King Joe, of course. After the events, Totally Not Juggler slightly mentions a hint of the storage captain wanting to salvage the parts of King Joe to make a new unit. Interesting. In the end of the episode, it shows an alien Barusa hand rising from rubble, making it a cliffhanger ending for the episode. Overall, the episode was really cool because it felt like an Ultra 7 episode, okay? From everything to action and effects and shots. That's what's so unique about this episode, and it feels so refreshing. It definitely is a great episode for sure, and a great tribute to Ultra 7. Now then, the next episode and final episode that we will review for this video is called Here Comes the Space Pirate, and if you hear that title, there's only one and only character they're referencing to. That's right, baby. Barusa. It begins in the aftermath of the fight between Ultraman Z and King Joe. Helicopters transport the parts of King Joe to the storage hangars. Alien Barusa gains control over one of the storage workers. At storage, Yuka takes a picture with the currently being constructed on King Joe. Mechanics team members Satoshi, Seiji, and Hiroshi form observations gathered with the data on the robot, with Yuka and Bako, and then they prepare for launch. While that happens, Barusa sneaks his way into the facility. Security guards find the body of the man Barusa used to get in and immediately act in protocol. Then they get scared off by Barusa. Back to our main cast. Haruki loses to Yoko in an arm fighting contest. The day is normal until they are hit with an intruder alert. They find the bodies of the guards. Barusa takes control of Yoko and introduces himself. It is revealed that King Joe was his ship, and he's not too happy about what Zet did to it. He demands to have it back, and Haruki demands to release Yoko. Barusa pushes her away. Haruki transforms into Ultraman Zet. Ultraman Zet faces Barusa and is knocked down to the wall. After that, Haruki uses the walkie-talkie to inform Yuka and Captain Hebikura-san that an alien is on the loose. Barusa runs off with medals. He then enters the research room and encounters Yuka. By controlling Yoko, he manipulates Yuka to turn on King Joe by torturing Yoko. Yuka hesitates, but she can't for too long, as she doesn't want her friend to get hurt like that. Yuka eventually does turn on King Joe, and before Barusa could enter, Juggler saves her and clashes with Barusa. Yuka takes a picture of the fight as they cling swords. Haruki shuts down the power so that King Joe would deactivate. Juggler approaches him and Yoko. Juggler gives Haruki a riddle of advice for a battle with Barusa, to then just leave. Haruki is confused but worry later as Barusa jumps in the scene and turns the power back on. King Joe begins to reform as Haruki and Yoko chase Barusa. Barusa shoots Yoko in the arm, and Haruki is left with no choice but to go along as protocol and reach the target. King Joe continues to reform and storage workers begin to lose hope, until Kojiro, being the wise man he is, uses his leadership to rebuild their confidence. Oh shoot, wait. Barusa shoots Kojiro and Satoshi. Holy Haruki rushes to Barusa, and before King Joe could reform, Kojiro tosses the final locking device and fetches it to the ground. Barusa gets a hold of it until he foolishly realizes he was fooled. Kojiro throws the water on him and Haruki electrocutes him, and Barusa drops the medals and retreats. Rushing outside, Barusa grows large. I'm not gonna lie, Barusa is such a clout chaser. Don't believe me? This is what I mean. Haruki accepts the challenge by using the medals of Ultraman Tiga, Ultraman Dyna, and Ultraman Gaia, and by chanting the words Ultraman Zet. Haruki and Zet transform into Ultraman Zet, Gamma Future.
Ultraman Z, Gamma Future.
I will say this about the fight. It is really, really well choreographed. And it's very fun, and has some very funny moments like this. and Barusa tries to use literally every weapon in his arsenal to defeat Gamma Future, but it just isn't working. What does work though is the hypnotization of Barusa's hand, used right on the time before Zet could get a good hit on him. Barusa kicks Zet away and tries to stab Zet with the magma stick, beating him over and over and over endlessly as time slowly runs out. So what now? After Yoko gives Lord Z the medals of Ultraman Jack, Ultraman Zoffy, and the Father of Ultra, Zet forms a Sword of Light and duels with Barusa, until it ends with Ultraman Zet using the M78 style Shining Tornado Slash, finishing the Barusa for once and for well, maybe not for all, because in reality, there are billions of Barusas waiting for him on their own planet. So, yikes. The next morning, it is slightly decided to operate King Joe into the third unit to Storage's selection of mechs to fight for humanity. Kojiro, or Bako, whatever, arrives to work with a bandage on his arm, when he should really be home resting. He offers Haruki and the gang the chance to make this a mech that will be piloted in. They accept the offer and the maintenance is left to the tech crew. Bako wishes Haruki good luck and they shake hands. Yuka pulls up an image of Juggler in front of Hebikura. Well, that's all, folks. Overall, the episode was fun, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the Barusa fight was just so well done. Well done. Barusa was really cool because he really felt like a Showa Kaijin. A true Showa Kaijin, at least. And when he's on screen in this episode, he's so entertaining. Anyways, that's all I got to say about the episode. And these 3 episodes as a whole. Next time we will be going over episodes 11 through 14. And these episodes are my favorite in the series. You will find out why when it comes out. Until then, I hope you enjoyed the video as it is coming to a close. If you are a newcomer, be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification button. And I will see you all later.